So good afternoon everybody and welcome to Scotland's Rural College Virtual Open Day for schools advisory, guidance staff, parents, teachers, anybody else that really wants to know anything about Scotland Rural College. So thank you so much for taking the time this afternoon to join us. We know everybody's really busy and particularly in the current climate, but hopefully you'll leave today with a far better understanding of what we're all about. In terms of our facilities, our campuses, our courses, our study pathways, and our work-based learning opportunities. So never in my mind has the rural industry been so attractive as a study option and an ultimate career choice for our school leavers. I think that climate change, as well as the traumas that we've had in the last 12 months, has increased awareness of the food on our plates and where it's come from. This is not Asda, as unfortunately many kids still believe. It's made us far more appreciative of our countryside and far more aware of environmental issues. And all of this brought together is fundamentally what Scotland's Rural College is all about, both on a local and a global stage. So some brief introductions. My name is Bridget Edmonston and I'm the Student Recruitment and Marketing Officer for the Aberdeen campus. Normally at this time of year, from about November till now, I'm running about the countryside. I'm out on the road meeting many of you at schools, at presentations, meeting pupils, teachers and their families at careers events. But this year, as we're all aware, that these things have had to come to an end and we're confined to barracks. But hopefully through these types of events, we're able to give you the information that you need to make informed decisions or to help people make informed decisions about their subject and course choices. I must say I am missing getting out and about and meeting so many lovely people, but thankfully I'm not piling on the pounds by the many cups of teas and biscuits and shortbread that I normally eat when I'm at schools. So I'm also going to introduce you in a few minutes to my colleague, Chris Stockwell, who's our Schools Training and Work-Based Learning Officer for the North Faculty. Chris's remit is even bigger than mine in terms of the geographic area. And he also coordinates the delivery of education in schools, training and apprenticeships and work-based learning for our faculty. Chris also is responsible for these areas at our Elmwood campus as well, which is located in Cooper. So I'll let Chris introduce himself now, just in case I get many more of these facts wrong. So I'll pass over to Chris now to introduce himself.
Okay, thanks, Bridget. Good afternoon, everybody. As Bridget said, my name is Chris Stockwell, Schools Training and Work-Based Learning Officer for the North Faculty. Bridget got everything right, actually, what she was saying. So yeah, my role really sort of three areas: the schools and really bringing the curriculum from SRUC into schools. The training, so the short courses, the skills training, and also the work-based learning, the modern apprenticeships, and it's that work-based learning that I'll be talking about later on in this presentation. Okay, thank you, and I'll speak to you later.
Thanks, Chris. So what's the purpose of today's event? Well, we want to use this opportunity to re-engage with everyone in our vast geographic area. Even in normal times, there's only one of me and there's only one of Chris, and it's impossible for us to be in all places at all times. So often we feel that the schools and the pupils in the outlying areas don't often get the attention that they deserve. So actually what we've learned from this current climate is that we're able to reach more people using platforms such as this. So going forward, I think that our recruitment will be based upon using events such as this now online and also face to face. So it's certainly given us something else to think about. So with no further ado, we're going to get started. Just to let you know, we're recording the event and we'll upload it on YouTube after today. And we'll send out the link to you as well. So feel free to share the link with your colleagues or your other parents or your friends, and hopefully you can spread the word a little bit more by doing that. And we'll be hosting, as I say, more of these types of events again later in the year. So at the end of the event, we'll be holding a question and answer session. So on your screen, you'll see a dialogue box with a question mark. If you've got any questions, just type your questions into that. We won't be answering the questions during the course of the presentation, but my colleague Gemma, who's here on the event with us, she'll field the questions to Chris and I, and we'll do our best to answer those. If you've any other questions that you don't want to ask publicly, or you come off the event and you think, gosh, I wish I'd asked that question, feel free to drop us a line afterwards, and we'll we'll try our best to get back to you with the answers. We'd also like to let teachers know that we're interested in tailoring presentations for your pupils. So whether that's subject presentations for particular year groups, that can be facilitated by our teaching staff or myself, or just general overviews like we're giving today. Again, just drop us a line and we can discuss your requirements. And finally, just to let you know that there is a 10 to 20 second delay during the event. So when you do pose your questions, it might take us a little longer to get back to you, but it is just literally seconds. It's not going to be that long. So right, let's get started. So Scotland's Rural College, who are we? We're going to start by showing you a short video. It's a very cool video that we put together about 18 months ago, and I think it pretty much sums up what we're all about.
Ah, breathtaking, isn't it? Scotland's towering mountains, rolling hills and glittering lochs. A place you come to relax.
How about don't do that? Relax somewhere else. Here, a revolution is happening.
And the revolution is rural. At Scotland's Rural College, we're all about the great outdoors.
And the great indoors. We think big, acting local, impacting global.
Where you can have your head in the clouds and your feet on the ground. You don't have to be out standing in a field to be outstanding in your field.
It's never been about where you're from, or about where you belong. We don't follow the herd. The revolution is rural.
It's today's modern farming and yesterday's modern farming. It's environmental policy. We're talking shoveling renewable energy.
It's the complete journey of food, the science of where it comes from, the economics of how it gets there, and finally,
enjoying it. The gateway to multiple careers is wide open for you.
So come join the revolution at
Scotland's Rural College.
Fabulous. I've seen that so many times now and I still think it's amazing. It's an amazing video that really showcases what we do. So as we say in the video, don't just follow the herd, be unique and join a unique institution. Scotland's Rural College were the first institution to offer courses from access and foundation level through City and Guilds, National Certificate, Higher National Certificate and Higher National Diploma, through to degree, postgraduate and beyond. We're an institution which combines education provision with world-class innovative research programmes, focusing on rural, environmental and land-based activity, and our consulting division, SAC, which provides an advisory service to the sector. The benefit to SRUC students is exposure to this holistic approach to learning. So in addition to our campus at Cabeston and Aberdeen, we've also got campuses across Scotland. And as part of the North Faculty, we also have, as I mentioned before, we've got Elmwood campus in Cooper, which focuses on further education provision with courses such as gamekeeping, professional cookery and golf. as well as other courses that we also offer up in Aberdeen, such as countryside management and animal care. Our central faculty is made up of our campuses at King's Buildings in Edinburgh and Oatridge campus in Broxburn. And Oatridge houses, interestingly, the prestigious National Equestrian Centre. We've also got SRUC Aberdeen, which is in Dumfries, and Riverside in Ayr. So in addition to our campuses, we also offer some of our horticulture courses at the Royal Botanic Gardens in Edinburgh and in Glasgow. And on top of our campus learning, we also have a number of distance learning options, from access courses all the way through to master's level. So I think you can see from this, we're a pretty big organisation. We've also got 4 research farms, we've got vet services, disease surveillance centres, and consultancy offices across the length and breadth of the mainland and islands, which provides unique connections to local industry, whether it be crofting in the islands or dairy farms in the south. So talking of farms, you may have seen a bit of press coverage recently in the Press and Journal. We're investing quite heavily in our Tulloch farm in Aberdeen, close to our Craveston campus, which is going to be used in the future once we get back on campus for practical classes. And that'll be things like livestock and crops. Future plans might also allow other students from other subjects to become involved in the future running of the farm, so that's quite an exciting development for us. So just a little bit about our Aberdeen campus. So we're located, if you haven't already seen where we are, we're located in the north of the city, adjacent to the A96, the main arterial route into Aberdeen. And we're very close to the airport and pretty much diagonally across from the new P&J Live Exhibition Conference Centre, which at the moment I think is being used as a vaccination centre. We're situated in a pretty big estate called Craveston, but the campus itself is very small and has quite an intimate feel, and is made up of the Ferguson building, which you can see on the slide here, which houses our teaching facilities, our library and our social spaces. We've got 3 accommodation blocks. We've got an animal care unit, vet labs, plots and workshops. We've also got a cafeteria, pub, gym and other sports facilities. And future developments, we're going to be extending our animal care facilities and our equestrian centre. What makes us unique is our location, which is semi-rural. We're right on the edge of the city, but we're only a few miles from the city centre. So it gives the students a real student experience, allowing them access into the centre of Aberdeen, which hopefully we'll be able to do sometime in the future again. We've also got a bus service that operates in normal times, Monday to Friday, taking students to and from Craveston, and that operates from the city centre. In the coming years, the Seed Pod, which is going to be an incubator facility, which is going to be based on our on SRUC land. This is an incubator facility for food and drink enterprises, and this is going to be built across the road from us. And this is something you may have seen recently. There's been quite a lot of press on that in the local newspapers. There's also been a public consultation which has started on the medium to long-term expansion of the facilities for Scotland Rural College. So now we're going to have a quick look at the levels of study that we offer. So at SRUC, we've created unique progression pathways through many of our courses and subject areas. Students can enter a level that suits them and their qualifications. For example, a student can join our Intro to Animal Care with minimum qualifications on leaving school, and on successful completion of the intro can move to the National Certificate, and again on completion on that can embark on the HND and onwards from there. Students can decide at which level they wish to complete their studies, dependent on their chosen career paths. Some students may also take different routes, starting on one particular pathway and switching to another option to complete their education. An example of this could be following the animal care stream to HND level, and then completing years 3 and 4 of the honours degree in rural business management. So really it's up to a student what pathway they wish to take. We've got so many examples of students that have started their studies at SRUC at lower levels of study and have gone on to progress and far exceed what their original expectations were. So progression pathways do make us quite unique, and they're a massive benefit to students who didn't get the grades at school they maybe wanted, but still gives them hope and opportunity to go on and study for a degree and even beyond. So I'm now going to look at the subject areas that we offer at Aberdeen, at Craveston. Subjects that we offer are agriculture, rural business management, animal care, vet nursing, wildlife and conservation management. And coming on stream again for 2021, we've got environmental management. And last but not least, our exciting news for 2021, the introduction of equine studies. So this list is for Aberdeen only, and this is by no means exhaustive. Our other campuses offer a very diverse range of other land-based courses and subjects such as agricultural technology, golf, cookery, horticulture and garden design. If you want more information on these courses, you can let us know either today or you can have a look on our website and we can direct your email to, the recruitment officer at the relevant campus. So firstly, we're going to take a quick look at animal care and veterinary nursing, one of our very, very popular choices at Aberdeen. Two very different streams, but both part of the Department of Veterinary and Animal Science at Craveston, and they both share common facilities in the animal care unit. As I just said, both of these streams are very, very popular choices for prospective students, and most years we're at capacity at the start of the academic year. All of our animal care students have a very clear progression route, and at Craveston we offer the Intro to National Certificate in Animal Care, we offer the National Certificate, the HNC and the HND. The ability to care for animals is a skill in a wide range of organisations, and a nationally recognised qualification is now required for many employers in that sector. Our past students have been employed in a variety of roles in organisations such as animal welfare societies like the SSPCA, zoos, city farms, catteries and boarding kennels, grooming salons and pet superstores. Many of our students also go on to start their own businesses such as dog groomers and dog walkers, and some have joined the armed forces, the prison service and even the police. Our animal care courses offer modules in feeding and watering, enrichment, health and welfare, anatomy, physiology and business related topics as well. So on to vet nursing now. We've made some changes to our veterinary nursing offering at Aberdeen in 2021. So we're no longer going to be offering, as we have done for previous years, we're no longer going to be offering the level 3 diploma in veterinary nursing, but instead of this, we're offering the level 2 diploma veterinary care assistant, which started this academic year. And from September, we're delighted that we're going to be offering the honours degree in veterinary nursing. 100% of our current veterinary nursing graduates have secured employment at the end of their studies. So the level 2 vet care assistant incorporates work experience which enhances knowledge and employability. And the degree in veterinary nursing is designed to develop knowledge and skills during academic study as well as within clinical placement at an approved training practice. Once our students have completed the general or honours degree, including their placement within practice, they will be able to become a registered veterinary nurse, which is a legally required entity to practice. On-campus teaching at Aberdeen has recently been enhanced with the provision of a specially designed clinical skills teaching centre. So on to agriculture. So I'm sure as you already are aware, agriculture is at the heart of our organisation, particularly here at Craveston. There are two common misconceptions about studying agriculture. Number one, you have to come from a farming background. And number two, you only study farming to work on a farm. But both are totally wrong. The industry is desperate to attract new blood with a huge variety of careers in the agri-food sector, from journalism to engineering, to crop technology, to genetics. There's a great video highlighting agricultural careers out there, which is the Farmer's Guardian hashtag This Is Agriculture. And to a certain extent, there's still a stigma with agriculture, but it doesn't reflect what food farming and the rural industries actually deliver. And this is a stigma we all want to overcome. The agriculture courses at SRUC focus on the production of foodstuffs, but are also involved in the supply chain for farming, such as seeds, feed, and machinery, as well as related issues such as welfare and sustainability. So the courses we offer at Craveston start with the NC, the National Certificate in Agriculture, which is designed to equip students with sound practical skills. And the course is made up of some classroom-based learning as well as hands-on practical training on the farm. We also offer the HNC and HND in agriculture, which moves from less practical elements to more classroom-based learning with modules in areas such as arable crop production, crop and soil science, as well as marketing and economics and the principles of mechanisation. The BSc and the BSc Hons, which is the years 3 and 4 of the degree, course teaches students about the entire food chain from farm to fork, whilst developing the knowledge and understanding required for a senior management position within the agri-food sector. Throughout the course, the students are going to gain an appreciation of the environmental, the ethical, the moral and the legal issues which are relevant to the industry. In their final year, students should undertake a fourth-year dissertation. So on to wildlife and conservation. This was formerly known as countryside management, and we've just changed the name to wildlife and conservation in the last year or so, which really does reflect what the course is all about. I think countryside management didn't really, in my opinion, do the course the justice it truly deserved. It's now becoming a really popular choice. So our Wildlife and Conservation Management HNC, HND or BSc Honours is ideal for those students who are interested in the responsible management of our natural resources and are looking for employment in organisations such as the National Park Rangers Service, the RSPB, the Scottish Wildlife Trust, the SNH, Scottish National Heritage, just to name but a few. I've listened so many times to my colleagues who teach onto this course describing wildlife and conservation management, and in layman's terms, really what this is a course that devotes itself to the management of our natural resources, while at the same time managing the throughput of visitors to allow us to enjoy the countryside. So when you think about when you visit some of our local beauty spots, such as the Benihee Centre or the Cairngorms National Park, just think how we humans want to interact and use the environment. So whether it be us walking, us biking, skiing, and how this actually impacts the flora and the fauna around us. And this is what this course actually is dedicated to. So students study modules such as habitat management, visitor management, ecology, and wildlife management. It's a really a fabulous course for students that are interested in things like wildlife, ecology, geography and conservation, and obviously the environment. So now moving on to rural business management. So we offer an HND or a BA honours in rural business management, and this combines a rounded business management education studying core modules that you would get in other business courses such as marketing, HR, e-commerce, finance, entrepreneurship and economics, but it's got an emphasis on or a slant towards the agri-foods industry. So students benefit from studying real life case studies, often going out on field trips to visit local businesses. And they can also take elective modules in subjects such as agriculture, equine, travel and tourism, and RICS, which is the Royal Institute of Chartered Surveyors. So RICS modules up in Aberdeen are a very popular choice, and many of our students that graduate from Aberdeen go on to careers in land management and surveying after graduation. And our students also have had successful careers in well-known businesses in Scotland, such as McPhee of Glenbervie, Baxter's of Speyside, and others have gone on to manage successful diversification projects on their own family farms. So to our new kid on the block, our Equine Studies programme, which is, as I say, new for 2021. And this has been developed at the moment in partnership with Aberdeen Riding Club at Mill Timber. And for the time being, this is where our practical elements of our course are going to be delivered. So during the 2-year HND, students will learn practical skills such as yard and stable management, grassland management, as well as horse care and riding and horsemanship. So in addition to these modules, students will also learn general business knowledge, including event management and an introduction to marketing. The course is going to offer a non-riding and a riding option and is a good mix of practical and theoretical knowledge, which will prepare students to take on a variety of different roles in the equine sector. So our environmental courses are very much based on giving students an understanding of sustainability and the natural environment within an applied context. So the value and importance of the environment and its issues is obviously becoming increasingly recognised in our society. And an environmental management course covers key topics which are climate change, sustainability, and the management of natural and land resources. This is providing our students with an excellent knowledge for further study and employment in a wide range of environmental and conservation sectors. The programme also provides practical and case study based learning to support the knowledge and awareness of current techniques used in environmental management. Again, this course has got regular field trips and site visits both locally and throughout Scotland in normal times, which is allowing our students to broaden their experience and actually be able to contextualise their studies. So example core modules are rural planning, climate change, environmental impact assessment, and GIS. And a wide range of elective modules also give students the opportunity to specialise in areas such as rural development, habitat restoration, recycling, carbon management, and waste reduction. So that's a very, very quick whistle-stop tour of our subjects that we deliver in Aberdeen. So just now on to give you a quick overview of our entry requirements. So our typical entry requirements for degree level is 2 Bs and 2 Cs. But for example, for our degree in veterinary nursing, the expectation is actually 4 Bs. For HNC or HND, we require two hires at level C or above. And for our national certificate, it varies, but normally NAT 4s and NAT 5s are required dependent on the course. For our access and intro courses, we're looking for commitment more than anything, and there will be an interview. Talking about interviews, we do hold interviews for many of our courses prior to offer. That's just a very, very basic overview of our entry requirements, but if you are interested in finding about specific courses, I would direct you to our prospectus or our website for the course specific requirements, because as I say, these will vary from course to course. We will, however, for some of our courses, look at alternative qualifications and experience for entry. Obviously, voluntary work in the pupil's chosen sector is hugely relevant to show commitment, and therefore I can't stress enough the importance of the personal statement and applications for our HE courses. For all our HE or higher education applications, that's HNC and above, applications are made to UCAS, which obviously the deadline has now passed, but if we still have availability on our courses, we will accept applications up to the start date if there are any spaces available. And for our FE courses, applications should be made through the SRUC website, which at the moment is still open to take applications now. So at SRUC, we have excellent support services. Obviously, we know that starting a new course, starting college, is a time where students need the most support in one way or another. And our student support tutors can offer our students help with learning support and learning support assessment, study support services, study skills, funding support, careers advice, mental health support. Overall at Craveston, we have an open door policy, and the service for our student support is available to all students. So if you think you would benefit from this service, we'd encourage you to get your pupils to contact us prior to starting their course to allow us to put into place any additional support that may be required. So that is a quick whistle-stop tour of what we offer in terms of further education and higher education provision. I'm now going to pass to Chris, who's going to talk to you a little bit about work-based learning.
Okay, great. Thank you, Bridget. So as Bridget said, she's really spoken about our campus-based courses. I'm going to now just touch on our work-based learning. So I'm going to really look at what is work-based learning, or more what we offer, what is a modern apprenticeship. I'm going to look at some of the differences between these courses and the full-time campus-based, and then I'm going to touch on some of the subjects that are available. So what what topics can you do modern apprenticeships in, and more specifically what's available in the northeast here in terms of from our Aberdeen or Elmwood campus. And then I'll also just finish off by just mentioning, we mentioned earlier, part of my role is also the schools. So I've just got a slide just sort of on the opportunities for schools work. So next slide, please, Gemma. So my first question really is, what is a modern apprenticeship? Well, a modern apprenticeship is made up of 3 elements, and that's an SVQ, so an SVQ level 2 or an SVQ level 3. It also involves core skills. So those really are the skills and abilities which everybody needs in their work. So that might be numeracy, might be ICT, might be communication, problem solving, working with others, those sort of things. And say every modern apprenticeship, regardless of the subject that you do, involves having the core skills element to it. The third part of a modern apprenticeship is enhancement and training courses. So those are national and industry recognised training courses. Depending what the subject that you do in the modern apprenticeship in, might depend on the training that's available to you. Some, for example, agriculture, you do 2 enhancements or 2 training courses. One is emergency first aid and one other. So it could be something like pesticide application. It could be something like all-terrain vehicles, quad bikes, or material handlers, tractor driving, for example. So really, the modern apprenticeship, we use the catch line, earn while you learn, because really it's about doing learning in the workplace. So the picture on the right hand side shows that really it's a freeway agreement, a freeway contract, or most importantly, a freeway partnership between SRUC as the training provider, the employer, and the apprentice. The key thing with all this, which makes it very different from campus-based courses, is you must be employed to do a modern apprenticeship. So you must be employed in the workplace, I say, to actually do the modern apprenticeship. Next slide, please, Gemma. So this slide just shows some of the differences really between the the full-time courses that Bridget spoke about and the apprenticeship. So I suppose the first thing is the point I just mentioned. It's a real paid job with structured learning. So we use that the catch line, earn while you learn. So it's studying alongside doing your work. So you're paid, the apprentice is paid by the employer. The employer must have the same arrangements as if they employ anybody else in terms of minimum wage, in terms of holiday allowance, in terms of sick leave and that sort of thing. So the apprentice is treated very much as a normal employer, but the course fees are paid by Skills Development Scotland direct to SRUC as a training provider. The start dates, we can either do them as a sort of a block start. So in some subjects, we do them as a normal sort of start of an academic year. So an August, September start, or sometimes might do them as a January start. Or on some of them, we do them as a rolling start, meaning that you can actually join the program at any time and work at work at your own sort of speed, starting at any time. Mode of study also makes it different how from a full-time course. So again, there's different options depending on the subjects that you do. So it could be almost entirely 100% in the workplace, but the assessor from SRUC will come out into the workplace and will sort of, watch the apprentice do particular tasks. We'll ask them questions. We'll, look at their portfolios of record of achievements and that sort of thing. Or it might be day release, so they might be in the workplace for most of the time, but come onto campus for certain days. Or it might be via block release, so they might come onto campus for a week, 2 weeks at a time. And so that really depends on what the subject is as to which of those modes of study they are, and also the campus sometimes that it's delivered from as well. So agriculture, for example, at Aberdeen is from the workplace, so pretty much 100% in the workplace. But we will bring people in to campus at the beginning of a course and also for odd days throughout the year of the course, maybe to do things like the first aid course that I spoke about, the enhancement, the training, or things like you do manual handling and health and safety, and those sort of things are often better delivered in larger groups on campus. The duration, the courses can be either 12 months or 24 months, 2 years. And again, that depends on what the subject is. So agriculture, again, for example, is a 12-month, although you do get 18 months to complete it in. So, with COVID and that sort of thing, where it's perhaps slowed down some of the training that can be done, we do have that flexibility of the 18 months. Or equine or the horse care, that, for example, is a 2-year program. They have slightly more units to do, so over a longer period. One of Bridget's last slides was the student support. So just to emphasise here that although the apprentice is not on campus, all the student support that Bridget mentioned is obviously available still to an apprentice. So the learning support tutors, the careers advisors, the mental health, the SRUC, our SRUC Student Association, all still available for the work-based learning students, although they're not on campus. They obviously can still access all of those. Next slide, please, Gemma. So this slide just shows some of the subject areas that you can do a modern apprenticeship in, and the campuses that they're delivered sort of from or managed from. So Bridget's already gone through the campuses. The only one we don't sort of offer a modern apprenticeships through is our King's Building in Edinburgh, but Oak Ridge is only a few miles down the road, so they do them from there instead. So the sort of subject areas I've mentioned: agriculture. That's the big one that we do from the Aberdeen campus. We also have ones like countryside and environment, the land-based engineering, trees and timber, which is sort of forestry or arboriculture. We do golf, which is the greenkeeping and sports turf, so managing the actual the greens on the golf courses. So we do the horse care or equine, and we do horticulture and landscape, and the hospitality is actually professional cookery. So from our Elmwood campus, so we do professional cookery. So although I've said that the 5 campuses are there, depending on obviously what the subject and the mode of study is, it may be that obviously you might be based in the northeast, but we might not do the actually run the subject from Craveston. It might still be worth inquiring, because we do have students all over. So for example, our agriculture in Aberdeen, we have students up in in the Highlands, in Shetland. Our greenkeepings run from Elmwood, but again we have students in Shetland. We have students at Dumfries and Galloway Golf Club, for example. But because they're in the workplace, means that they don't have to be right next to the campus that they're particularly doing the subject in. So next slide, please, Gemma. So this slide really just shows the modern apprenticeships that are available from the North faculty, really. So that's Aberdeen or Elmwood. I've already mentioned agriculture. We do a pre-apprenticeship programme there, joint in partnership with Ringlink. We also then do the MA Agriculture level 2. From our Elmwood campus, we do equine, but as Bridget said, we're going to start to do equine from Craveston as well as from September this year. So although it's delivered from Elmwood, so you could do it at Aberdeen anyway, we will obviously be doing more equine at Aberdeen. So we'll be doing the modern apprenticeship as well. There's also the horticulture, and that can be the level 2 is in straight horticulture, but the level 3 then is more parks, gardens, and green spaces. There's then the greenkeeping, which I say is actually sports turf, and then we also do game and wildlife management as part of a gamekeeping framework. Next slide, please, Gemma. This slide is just to hopefully avoid any confusion where you might see sometimes courses referred to as level 2 or level 3, whereas actually they're level 5 or level 6. The difference is often if we're talking about level 2 and level 3, we're talking about the SVQ, the Scottish Vocational Qualification, that is part of that modern apprenticeship. But actually the SCQF level that they're at, which you might be more familiar with at schools, is different than that. So for example, the SVQ level 2 is in fact at SCQF level 5, and the SVQ 3 is at SCQF level 6. We have started to address that in terms of the new frameworks that are being developed. So agriculture's gone through a revalidation of its apprenticeship in this last year, and we're now actually starting to call it a modern apprenticeship at SCQF level 5, rather than calling it a modern apprenticeship at level 2, because it was a little bit confusing at times when you've got different levels. So we will be starting to talk about it more from the SCQF level rather than the SVQ level. Okay, next slide, please, Gemma. And so this slide just actually shows an example pathway, really example progression that you can do. This one is for agriculture, but equally we could have horticulture up or other areas. But it shows really the left-hand side. We've got the work-based learning, so the pre-apprenticeship and the 2 levels of the modern apprenticeship agriculture, and then really shows how it can fit and you can progress into full-time courses at Craveston, or how even you can do, say, a national certificate in agriculture, then move up to the modern apprenticeship at SCQF level 6, and then perhaps move back to a HNC, HND, or straight onto a degree. Okay, next slide, please, Gemma. So finally, I just want to mention the schools pathways, and really just to say for the North faculty, for this next sort of school academic year, we will be offering an NPA in rural skills, which is the agriculture stream. We'll be offering a principles of animal care and a veterinary terminology. The principles of animal care and veterinary terminology are distance learning courses. So we do have to emphasize here that the students do need to be very well self-disciplined, self-motivated, because they said they will be logging on to a distance learning package and be studying. Although there is sort of tutor support, they will be studying, sort of independently for 3 to 5 hours per week. And by nature of these sort of courses and the popularity of sort of animal care and veterinary nursing, there are limited places, so we have to make that aware at the beginning that possibly not everybody who would like to do can physically do them, unfortunately. The agriculture, the MPA rural skills, this is one we used to deliver purely at Craveston, but COVID has actually made us do it as a blended learning course. So going forward, it's likely to be that it will be a mixture. So we'll keep to some of the sort of the more theory parts, the classroom based, at being done online, but we will have sessions on campus at Craveston for some of the practicals and take groups out on visits and that sort of thing. So that's half a day a week or a day a week. It's probably likely to be more when it comes to visits and practicals and that to actually come on to campus. But the blended learning approach will just be the half day. Okay, and that's me finished my bit. Thank you, Gemma. So any questions for myself and Bridget? Sorry, my final slide there was just, I will mention it before we go to questions. We're also considering from schools, so if there's any school teachers or careers advisors and that out there, we're asking for your opinions here, really, please. But just we're thinking about offering some of the HNCs that we have. So we've got HNCs in agriculture or in rural business management or in conservation and wildlife. Can we offer those into your sort of S5s, S6s probably? So they are equivalent. Doing a HNC would be equivalent to a pupil student doing free advanced hires. But really, we want to take sort of feedback in terms of should we be looking at offering full HNCs, just certain modules from. Is there that demand out there to do? The two that are on the screen there, the HNC Rural Business Management and the Conservation and Wildlife, are ones that we already have as online distance learning courses. So we could offer those into schools, again, say to be done on a distance learning basis. So that's potential for the future, but something we would say appreciate some feedback on, actually, please. Thank you.
So just to make everybody aware as well, I'm sure you've seen all the social media and the advertising that we've had out there over the last few weeks regarding our open days. Today for Craveston is the first of a run of open days, and if you're interested in any subject-specific open days or interested in finding out a little bit about what our students have got to say about studying at Craveston, we've got a number of events coming up the rest of this week. So if you're interested, if you go to the website again and type in the URL at the bottom of the slide here, you'll get the list of the other events that we have during this week available. Again, we're going to be using Microsoft Teams Live for these events, and again, we'll be recording them. So if you are interested in any of the other subjects that we have coming up and you can't attend, let me know and I can send you out the YouTube link as well for those. And again, at the end of these events, we'll be having Q&A specifically tailored towards the subject matter and answered by people who really do know about their subjects, and that's the programme team leaders and the lecturers. So if you are interested, go and sign up for some more of the events. And then finally, just to give you some details about our contacts, I've put my email address up there as well as Chris's. Again, if you want to make the open day bookings or download a prospectus, we've got the information up there for you. Just again, thank you for coming along today. We hope that this will have helped you in any decision-making processes for yourself, but also to help you with the decision-making process for your family or for your pupils. We've got two different trains of thought here. We've got people who are leaving school, who want to come into a land-based industry, and they come from a land-based background. But we've also got others who are perhaps wanting to completely change their path, change their careers, and who have perhaps come from another background and want to come into the land-based industry. So this has just given everybody a background of what we offer. And we've now put it into, if you are somebody who's going to influence others, we're now putting it into your hands to have the knowledge of what we're about and to pass that on. So now we're going to go to the question and answer session. I think Gemma's going to help us out with that.
Thanks, Bridget. Yeah, so the first question we've got here is, for first year students, would you recommend they stay on site or in the city centre?
That's a really difficult one, because it really depends on where you've come from and what you like. If you're staying on campus, then you obviously can benefit from being with your cohort and meeting other people that are in a similar situation from yourself. If you stay in the city, then obviously once we do get back to normal times, then you've got the benefit of the pubs and the clubs and the shops and everything around you. So it really depends on the type of person you are and what you would like. But like I say, if you choose to stay in town, there is a bus service. Hopefully when we do get back to a little bit of normality, there will be a bus service that runs Monday to Friday that will take you out to the campus.
Thanks, Bridget. There's a question here, it's quite specific. For the wildlife and conservation courses, is it very much land-based? Would it be any use to those who are interested in the seas or oceans?
I can't wholly answer that, because I think that's quite a specific question that I think we'd have to pose to our wildlife and conservation management staff. But I do know that they do go out on field trips and they do study estuaries and coastlines, but it's not the mainstay of the course. But perhaps if you could leave your email address, I can get an answer for that for you.
Thank you so much. Do you know, for the level 2 animal care, what are the entrance requirements?
I'm a little bit confused by this question, because I think there's the level 2 veterinary care assistant and there's the animal care courses. So if you're talking about the level 2 veterinary care assistant, the expectation would be 4 national 5s, and the expectation would be English, maths and a science, if it's the level 2 VCA you're talking about. If it's not, type back into the dialogue box and we'll give you more information on the animal care courses.
Perfect, thank you so much. We've got a question here. Someone's son is studying GCSEs in England and is expected to get a 7. How does this transfer to agriculture? Would this be the NC level they should apply for? I
think that because with your GCSEs, if you're not moving on to A-level study, then I think it probably would be the NC. Chris, you worked in the Agri department. You maybe know more about this than me.
Yeah, no, I think you're right. I think it will be the NC, yeah, National Certificate.
Yeah. if he's interested in studying his A levels, then yes, he would then be able to apply for the higher education related courses. So that would be the HNC and above.
Perfect. Thank you so much. We've got someone here just wondering what course is the livestock course. Would that be agriculture? Oh, sorry, you've somehow muted, Bridget.
Yeah, well, I'll perhaps answer that. Yeah, there's obviously a livestock element to agriculture. Agriculture that we deliver is really sort of general agriculture, so it includes livestock, it includes crops or arable, it includes machinery and sort of business management side of agriculture. So there's certainly a livestock element to it. There's obviously also, you know, a bit of large animal livestock in the animal care courses. Quite a lot of it is, you know, the small animal and birds and, you know, that sort of thing. But also there is, you know, bits of ponies and horses in the animal care. But I know obviously we'll be doing the actual horse care, the equine as well.
Thanks, Chris. We've got a question here for you. What subjects do people need to get into modern apprenticeships?
There isn't really a sort of formal entry requirements for modern apprenticeship. It's, as Bridget said to one of the earlier ones, was really a level of commitment. They need to show that level of commitment to want to learn, really. And the other big sort of requirement is that they are employed. So they have to find employment before starting the modern apprenticeship. And obviously, you know, SRUC can help in that process. So if you're very keen to do a modern apprenticeship but don't have somewhere, then, you know, please drop us a line and we can help, because obviously we have, you know, contacts, we have farmers, you know, employers and that. But also, you know, you can put bits on Facebook and that yourself to say I'm looking for a placement in a particular area, whether it's a golf course or a farm or whatever. But no formal entry requirements, really.
Thank you so much. We've got a question here. What do you accept an FA as? Is it 1 hire or 2? And I think that's a foundation apprenticeship, but I'm not sure. Yeah,
we don't actually do the foundation apprenticeships. We only do the modern apprenticeships at the moment.
I think, what do you accept the qualification as? Is it equivalent to 1 hire or 2 hires?
Oh, sorry, right. The foundation apprenticeship is generally, I think, at SCQF level 4. So that would be 4 or 5, I think. So it would be equivalent to coming out with NAT 4s or 5s. So would get into sort of NCs and that sort of thing, really, national certificate programs.
Thank you so much. We've got a question here. Someone's son is 16 with NAT 4s and 1 NAT 5, and we would like to have an opportunity to try some farming and forestry. Is there learning support available?
I mean, he would, depending on the subject he chooses, he would potentially get into one of the NC courses. And yes, there is learning support available. We've got very strong learning support departments, should I say, throughout the whole organisation. So yes, absolutely. And like I said in the you know, in my presentation, that if there's specific requirements, to get in touch with us and to chat it through before coming to college, so that we basically have a background before the student starts, so we can start working with them immediately.
Thank you so much, Bridget. That's all the questions we've got.
Great, super. So thank you very much, everybody, for coming along today. Thanks for all the questions and putting Chris and I through our paces. we just want to let you know that we have a feedback form. If you wouldn't mind completing that, I think Gemma has popped that into the question and answers dialogue box there. We'd love to hear your feedback on today, good or bad, hopefully all good, and that will allow us in future to be able to improve on our event. So thank you very much if you could actually do that for us. And I just want to take this opportunity from myself and from Chris and from Gemma to say thank you very much for attending. Like I said, if you've got any other questions, our email addresses are there. Please feel free to get in touch with us, and I'd just like to wish you a very good evening and thanks for attending. So bye-bye.